blues fans, glad you found us. Time for another episode of This Week in the Blues. It's our weekly take on blues history. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Madsen, with the blues band Big Train and the Loco Motives. So let's take a look and see what happened this week in blues history. Matt Guitar Murphy came into the world on December 29th, 1929 in Sunflower, Mississippi, and grew up in Memphis, where his father worked at the Peabody Hotel. Murphy picked up the guitar young and never put it down. By 1948, he was in Chicago, plugged in with Howlin Wolf and carving out a name as a fierce and tasteful player. Decades later, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi caught his act and immediately drafted him into the touring band for the Blues Brothers, launching him into big screen fame. Bo Diddley, born Ellis McDaniel on December 30th, 1928, stands tall as one of rock and roll's founding architects. His African-inspired rhythms, swaggering groove, and that famous 5-accent ham-bone beat shaped everyone from Buddy Holly to the Beatles to the Rolling Stones. He built his own wild rectangular guitar, the Gretsch Twang Machine, and pushed tone, attack, and attitude into the future. Lillian McMurray, born December 30th, 1921, was a visionary long before people called her one. From the back of her Jackson, Mississippi furniture store, she launched Trumpet Records and became one of America's first female record producers. She recorded gospel at first, but soon captured blistering blues, including Elmore James's original Dust My Broom and multiple sides by Sonny Boy Williamson II. Houston Boynes entered the world on December 30th, 1918 in Hazelhurst, Mississippi, and brought a raw, soulful edge to blues harmonica. He recorded for Modern Records in 1952, thanks to talent scout Ike Turner, then for Sun Records in 1953. A World War II Army veteran, Boynes later paired up with Charlie Booker, Houston Stackhouse, and Eddie Cusick. Bassman Hank Van Sickle, born December 31st, 1961, grew up surrounded by music. His father, Rodney Van Sickle, was a world-class classical bassist, and the whole family played. Hank eventually carved out his own lane in blues rock, best known for his work with the Blues Breakers. Gory Carter, born on New Year's Eve, 1930 in Houston, was a triple-threat singer, guitarist, and songwriter. Performing under names like Little T-Bone and Rocky Thompson, he was already playing clubs as a teen while working at the Comet Rice Mill. In 1949, he cut Sweet Old Woman Blues, the first step in a strong career in jump blues and early rock. Estelle Mama Yancey, born January 1st, 1896, brought warmth, humor, and soul to every stage she touched. Raised in Chicago, she sang in church choirs, played guitar, and in 1925 married boogie-woogie pioneer Jimmy Yancey. The two recorded together often, and Mama Yancey went on to earn 4 Traditional Blues Female Artist Award nominations. Johnny Manyoung arrived on New Year's Day in 1918 and helped usher electric blues into post-war Chicago. One of the few mandolin players in the genre, his nickname came straight from the instrument he championed. Young's recordings helped keep the mandolin alive in urban blues. Another New Year's baby, Frank Stokes, born January 1st, 1877, was the father of Memphis blues guitar. Orphaned young and raised in Tutwiler, Mississippi, he later worked as a blacksmith and traveled to Memphis on weekends to perform with Dan Sain. Together they helped define the city's early blues sound. Little Smokey Smothers, born January 2nd, 1939 in Chula, Mississippi, learned guitar at 15 and moved to Chicago soon after. By his late teens, he was sharing stages with Magic Sam, Otis Rush, and Lazy Bill Lucas. In 1958, he joined Howlin Wolf and played on Chess record sessions. When the blues scene thinned in the 70s, he even took construction jobs, but he eventually returned to clubs and recordings where he belonged. Edith Johnson, born January 2nd, 1903, wasn't a professional singer, but her warm, confident delivery made her 1928 to 1929 recordings unforgettable. Tracks like Honey Dripper Blues and 8-Hour Woman became her calling cards. While working at her husband's deluxe music store in St. Louis, she recorded 18 sides, including one session attended by none other than Charlie Patton. Reuben "Rube" Lacey, born January 2, 1901, in Pelahatchie, Mississippi, was once one of the most popular bluesmen in the Jackson area. His bottleneck guitar style shaped players like Son House, though his own 1927 Columbia recordings never made it to release and the masters were lost. Still, his influence echoes through Delta blues history. And finally, on January 3, 1956, Howlin Wolf recorded Smokestack Lightning for Chess Records, a hypnotic driving classic that hit number 11 on the Billboard Rhythm and Blues chart. Wolf had been refining the song since the early 1930s, performing it in Delta towns with Charlie Patton. Its eerie groove and pulsing rhythm helped define the very sound of Chicago blues. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. If you want to know more about these artists or other things that happened this week in the blues, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a new episode next week, and we'll talk about Fabulous Thunderbirds co-founder Kim Wilson and slide guitar player Tampa Red. It's going to be a great show. We'll see you then.